everyone.
Welcome to the Restless Review, our first time reviewing weekly wrestling.
This is to prove that we actually watch the product.
Exactly. Some people doubt it with some of our hot takes. They're like, "Oh, y'all don't watch the shows."
No,
No, we
no.
watch the shows.
Yeah. And while this is gonna be a fun week, I think this week was exciting. And of course, this week also, let's do one last memorial. Rest in peace, to our boy Iron Sheik. Um, number one, the heel. God love him. Been watching some of his matches. To remember him by. But I guess we should start off from this week with Monday Night Raw. OMG, I think this was a decent show. But what started off the show?
Seth Rollins. That's why they call the show Monday Night Rollins. The new World Heavyweight Champion has been on a tear, defending this belt every single show. Raw, live events. He'll be doing it on NXT pretty soon.
Yeah.
Every single damn show.
Uh,
He said he'll defend the belt anytime and he will.
Yeah, and I think that I think this is his first televised defense. I think, or what was advertised, Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins, which we'll talk about later. But this was the opening promo. Seth freaking Rollins starting off the show, and then Judgment Day, half of Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor show up, which I think was a pretty stellar promo. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was pretty fucking hilarious. I like it. What do you think about it?
I think we're starting to see the cracks in the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most interesting thing I think about this, and then obviously the match later on. But Seth Rollins lays out the challenge and he says, "Do it alone. No Finn Balor by your side. No Dominic. No Rhea." And Damien says yes, although Finn's trying to kind of like stop him, be like, "Yo, play it
Yeah.
smart." Maybe Finn doesn't believe Damien can do it alone.
Uh,
Maybe Damien feels like he doesn't need the Judgment Day. So interesting. I wonder how this could go out in the future. So I liked it.
I do like this. I do like to see the cracks, definitely. And of course, Damian Priest is like, Seth, remember one thing. Tonight, you're going to lose. And this will mark one of the shortest world title reigns ever, which let Seth Rollins come back with, well, no matter how you slice it, I'll have a longer world title reign than Finn Balor, which was a burn, bro. That shook the whole room, and that kind of made Finn Balor kind of like offended. Like if you look at his face, he was offended. And definitely you do see the cracks in the Judgment Day here, with Finn Balor being like, "Hey man, you don't, Seth, you don't make the rules here. We do." And Damien's like, "Nah, it's okay, man. I want to do this by myself." So yeah, hopefully, maybe SummerSlam, Damian Priest v Finn Balor. Hey, I don't
Could
know.
be.
I do know that they're after the Bad Bunny match. The rumor mill was churning, and the rumor mill was stating that Damian Priest might get a big push in the near future, and I think this is his first step of getting a big push, his first world title match later in the night. He might have won. Who knows? But yeah,
I would I would have liked to see him in the future do his own solo thing, and I would actually love to see Finn and Dominic capture some tag team gold because
mm,
I
mm,
always want to see tag team gold within the Judgment Day. Hopefully, Damien and Dominic, but that doesn't look like it's in the near future. So maybe
yeah.
Finn and Dominic can do it together.
It's weird because Judgment Day honestly has been dominating Monday Night Raw without any titles really, besides Rhea Ripley. But even beforehand, like they were still kind of dominating it. They are one of the best factions in wrestling today. But for this promo, how would you rate it out of 10?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 7. That's
Mm.
pretty good, but at the end of the day, it's not something I'm gonna like remember in a couple weeks, to be honest. So good promo.
I'm actually gonna do it higher, 8.5 out of 10. And the reason
Ooh,
why I do it so high is because this is starting cracks in the Judgment Day. And pretty nice promo work, pretty good mic work. And it really that little burn at the end really heightened up not only the crowd, but me at home, tingled my senses. But definitely, this is, I guess, the origin of what could maybe be a Judgment Day breakup, which is why I think it's an 8.5 out of 10. What is next on this show?
We have the first women's Money in the Bank qualifier on Raw. I believe Chelsea Green or Sonya Deville with Chelsea Green versus Becky Lynch. What do you think about the match, Jake?
I mean, it was nothing special. I don't think it was anything special in my opinion. It was cool to see. I guess it's cool to see Becky Lynch win. Right, she won and made it to the Money in the Bank ladder match. Honestly, this is literally something that I kind of completely forgot about. I'm just glad
Yeah.
that Becky Lynch won. I guess that's the right decision. I forgot that Chelsea Green's with Sonya Deville. That shows such a
Yeah.
good job that WWE does with booking women's tag teams. But whatever. What do you think about it?
Oh man, don't get me started on women's tag team wrestling on the main roster.
We'll do
But
another women's tag team rant.
wow, every episode. But I guess this match was okay. Nothing special, like you said. Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark made their appearance on the ramp. Just kind of made their presence felt, but Becky still got the W. She had the odds
Yeah.
stacked against her, right? She had Zoe Stark out there, Trish Stratus, Chelsea Green. But I'm excited. Like Becky Lynch is definitely so far one of the favorites to win Money in the Bank. Looking at the women's pool in the match already, um, and she's never won it, so I guess that's an incentive to give it to her. But I don't know. So I'm excited for Money in the Bank coming up in July. And I think Becky Lynch added to it gives it that star power it needs. So it's out of rating out of 10, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Yeah, I'll probably give it a 5.5. That extra 0.5 is because it's the right choice, I guess, right? And it was a fair match. It was fair. Nothing bad, nothing good. It's a match that resulted correctly.
And next after that, we had I think they did like a short recap of like Roman Reigns' 1,000-day reign as
Oh,
champion,
yeah,
like
we
they
don't have to
do
count that,
almost
but
every week.
it was cool.
Maybe,
Woohoo! Yeah, Roman Reigns, we the
yeah,
ones.
whatever. But more importantly, we had a great match of Gunther. I was about to say Walter. Gunther versus Kevin Owens.
Oh my God. Uh,
Oh
Yeah,
man.
I want to
Oh
say
man.
before this, I think they had their little segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn talking, and then Imperium or Ludwig Kaiser being like, "Ladies and gentlemen," or whatever he says, interrupting. I love Kevin Owens' anger issues gimmick. He really needs to go to Dr. Shelby, get some Team Hell No advice because but damn, his gimmick is like really good. Sami Zayn being the calm friend, Kevin Owens being like, "Why aren't you going turtleneck shopping?" or whatever he's saying to Ludwig Kaiser, and Gunther is like, "You need to control your anger, Mr. Owens." That's my Gunther impression. And then they take it out to the ring and put on, God darn, what a classic. I think my opinion, match of the week out of all the other shows. I thought it was one hell of a match. Which what what can you expect from Kevin Owens and Gunther except greatness? And I'm really excited to see if there's gonna be an Imperium versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn tag team match sometime, maybe at Money in the Bank. Who knows? But yeah, definitely great match. Some interference from Imperium, or Sami Zayn Imperium brawl. And what do you think about it?
I thought this was a great match. I think your go-to guy for weekly great matches has become Kevin Owens. Especially on Raw when you need a good consistent match. But Kevin Owens in a singles match, he's been doing it against guys like Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Solo. Like when Raw first went under Triple H was the first match they did. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, and that was like one of the biggest like Raw matches ever. That was super good.
One hell of a promo before that match too.
Exactly. I think every weekly show needs to have just one great match. I don't think all matches need to be great because it makes everything else seem less exceptional, right? But this was the great match of Raw. And for that reason, I'm gonna give this match an 8. It was weird for me to see Gunther win on a roll up. I feel like I've never seen him do a roll up before.
Yeah.
You know, so
At least that kind of doesn't
yes,
make Kevin Owens too weak, I guess, in a way, because he was distracted and the roll up got him. So
yeah,
there's
that's
that.
not a bad thing.
Yeah,
It's just weird to see.
it is weird. Gunther would be like the best 24/7 champion if he kept using roll ups, dude. But I'm actually gonna rate this, since this was my favorite match of the week. I'm gonna have to say 9.5 out of 10. I'm a very nice guy, so I do like to give, credit where credit's due. So maybe I rate higher than I should. But I'm also taking into account the segment before the match too, just because Kevin Owens is so fucking funny. And I love the KO Sami Zayn Imperium chemistry. It's just funny promos, fun promos. The week before it was very fun. I loved when Alpha Academy did the longest shoosh interrupting Imperium last week. That was
Yeah,
that was so funny, dude. But
definitely.
yeah, so 9.5 out of 10. Maybe a bit high, but it is a match that I'll actually remember. Probably one of my favorite Raw matches this year. So
Mm. And right after that, they launched into that segment with Riddle going backstage for his interview, and then interrupted by Imperium. And Riddle went off. He attacked both of them. He
yeah,
basically tore apart Giovanni Vinci's knees, which, like Kevin Owens said, when is my man Giovanni gonna get to talk? When he's gonna say like at least one word?
man.
uh, but they made Riddle look really good backstage, and that Riddle Gunther Intercontinental Championship match that's inevitable, I think it's gonna be incredible.
Yeah. Riddle again, he's proven this before with his feud with Seth Rollins. He's proven this before with his feud with Roman Reigns. One hell of a match last year, by the way, Riddle and Roman. But that he is a comedy character. And I love comedy characters. I love a good comedy character. Um, but a comedy character who's also someone who you shouldn't mess with. Because he has the MMA background, and I love the fact that that's actually shown. He's not just a stoner; he's actually cool. And he put, I believe, Giovanni Vinci in that ankle lock, right? One hell of an ankle lock, Jesus Christ, one hell of an ankle lock. Um, and again, Gunther and Riddle. Um, I'm hoping to see that Money in the Bank. That'll be a really good match. Probably a
I
Dave
think Riddle's
Meltzer
in the
line.
ladder match. I think he's in the Money in the Bank ladder
Did he
match.
beat Damian Priest yet?
Wait,
I
did
thought
that
that was.
match even happen?
I don't think that
Because I
happened
remember
yet.
Gunther saying like, "Riddle, I hope you win the Money in the Bank contract, and I hope you cashed in on me," which made me
Yeah,
think he was in the
but
match.
I think he's still qualifying with it against Damian Priest, but I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, sorry. The only people confirmed are like Shinsuke, Ricochet.
And then LA Knight
We'll
for
get to it.
SmackDown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
LA Knight. Yeah, we'll get to it.
So, but hey, that leads the question: will Imperium distract Matt Riddle at next week? Will Damian Priest maybe get in the Money in the Bank ladder match? That could mean Damian Priest could win and cause tensions with Finn Balor, and that's a whole loophole no matter who wins. But anyways, yeah, this Riddle showing his vicious side, I'm gonna have to give that an 8.5 out of 10.
Definitely cool segment. I'll give it an 8. Uh, Tearing up Vinci like that. Feel bad for the brother. He's already bald, man. Like things
Yeah,
just
didn't
suck.
even get the chance to speak.
Yeah. But I think we finally got to see the debut of Caden Carter and Katana Chance on Raw against Rousey and Shayna Baszler for the women's tag team titles. I actually really liked this match. It was really fun. It showed off the skills that Katana Chance and Caden Carter have. And finally, they made their debut after like waiting and waiting after the draft. So,
Yeah.
good match. Obviously, Ronda not participating very much to make the match
Why would
entertaining.
she?
Yeah, but
Um,
a good debut.
yeah, I think that I'm a huge Katana Chance fan ever since I saw her in the Royal Rumble. I think in 2019, I think.
Tell them
When
why
her
you're a
name
fan.
was Casey Costanzio or whatever her real name is. And wow. Her Royal Rumble um her Royal Rumble. What's the word? Action, I guess. That's not the word,
When
but
she saved
whatever.
herself.
Yeah, when she saved herself, made me a big fan. Like, damn, she's American Ninja Warrior, former alumni from American Ninja Warrior. So she does have. I just love people who's able to do tricks. Like Reggie, he's like my top 5 favorite superstars of all time. So if you're able to do flips, you're on
Yeah,
my list. No, I'm kidding, but really, she is a really, really talented wrestler. And the match itself, yeah, I
it was
mean,
good.
it was a good match. It wasn't anything that I guess I would. It was better than the Becky Lynch and Sonya match, I guess.
Definitely.
But I don't know. I'm just a Ronda Rousey hater, I guess. So I do have a little bit of that bias. Um, but for a debut match, pretty good. I don't think it made Katana Chance or I'm
Kaden
blanking on
Carter.
her name, Katie Carter. Really get buried. I feel like it
I
still
think it
made
did
him
the
look
quite
really
the
strong.
opposite.
Yeah, definitely. So for that, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it really displayed the talents of these two young upstarts, especially Kaden Carter. Man, her athleticism is off the charts as well. She's a former collegiate athlete. That off the hanging rope code breaker that she does, I think is
Oh
so
yeah,
good. Or is it like the uh, double knee DDT? I guess I don't know what you would call it, but it
code
was cool.
breaker.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
But
so this
yeah,
match good. I'm gonna give it a 7.
um, so next match, I believe, was it Ricochet and Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yeah, which was not much to say because they got interrupted by the big man, Bronson Reed.
What a dick.
The match was
Um,
okay, like
it
nothing
was
special.
it was all right. It was a good, like, I guess, fest with Ricochet and Shinsuke. I think that you put Ricochet in a match, he can be like, he always is the spotlight, right? I'm not saying that Shinsuke didn't do anything in this match, but it's a small match, and I guess it kind of just showed Bronson's dominance. That's why he interrupted it. Kind of pissed off on how Ricochet beat him, I believe. Who was it, Ricochet or
I think it was
Shinsuke that beat
Shinsuke.
him? Shinsuke that beat him, and then Bronson and Ricochet. I think Bronson beat Ricochet before. There's
Yeah,
there's so much
it was one of
wrestling
them.
I watched that
Yeah,
so much is happening. So
this.
excuse us. We're not we watched the product. We promise.
Yeah, this is not looking good for us. We
I
were just like,
know.
oh, we watch it, we watch it.
Oh,
No, um, I'm gonna give this a 6 because it did a good job of displaying Bronson Reed out there, getting him actual storylines. I don't know what's the future of this. Is he feuding with Ricochet or Shinsuke? I don't know.
I don't know. Is it going to be
Or
involved in the
both.
Money in the Bank? I don't know. I feel like everyone's going to get involved in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Honestly, every
I
single
don't know.
person in the roster.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm going to give this a 7. Um, simply because the action that I saw, I really enjoyed. Even though it was only like 5 minutes of action or something. But the 7 kind of leads to Bronson Reed being this dominant guy, which I think that Bronson Reed is one of the few hires or new or rehires that Triple H did that really is making an impact, at least in the mid card scene. Because honestly, not that many wrestlers that were rehired by Triple H are really doing much besides Bronson Reed, honestly. So
Yeah, I completely agree. Great rehire. Um, and after this, I believe we got another qualifier match, right? I think it
well,
was Zoe
before
Stark and
that,
Natalia.
you're forgetting about one person. There's a backstage segment. Sheesh.
Oh
That's
my
right.
God, the
It's,
new formation.
it's genuinely, like, actually, like, no joke. Chad Gable's probably my top 3 favorite wrestlers in WWE right now because he just reminds me of Kurt Angle, and I love Kurt Angle. And Chad Gable is definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers
Needs to
currently.
box some perks.
Needs to pop some perks. Needs to say some
I need perk
outlandish
Gable.
outlandish stuff about Booker T's wife. Like Chad, but yeah, Alpha Academy had their little segment with Maxine Dupree. I don't know where Maximum Male Models went. But Maxine
They're literally just not on TV.
Dupree and Alpha Academy had their own little moment. So last week, if you didn't watch, Valhalla for some reason came over and was chasing Maxine Dupree after Maxine Dupree kicked Valhalla in the face. And then in this segment, Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis were saying they're going to train Maxine Dupree to be in the ring. That's going to be okay. I think I actually give this a 7. I guess there is a bit of bias for me, but at the same time, it's just a small, quick segment, which I think did an effective job of being kind of funny and kind of hyping up Maxine Dupree to become the next Charlotte Flair.
Whew.
Hot
Okay.
take.
Okay. I'm gonna just give it a 5. I love Chad Gable. I love Otis. I think Maxine's cool, I guess. But like, I don't think the segment had any incredible value. I'm not a big fan of the Viking Raiders, so they're gonna have a prolonged feud with them, I guess.
The Viking Raiders.
They're just, I guess, just chilling on Raw in catering.
they're just chilling. But yeah, I think actually after that segment, we have a pretty big segment.
Miz TV.
Miz TV. Oh my God. What'd you think about Miz TV with Cody Rhodes and some surprise guests?
I love the Miz, man. The way, all right, so he brings out Cody Rhodes. He's like, but we need another guy. I've invited one of the baddest men on the planet, Dominic
Yes.
Mysterio, and I love that. Rhea's kind of the. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what I don't like about this. The constant Rhea and Dominic are a thing definitely together, right? But it always seems to be on Dominic's behest. It's not really Rhea doing stuff, interacting with the women's division. It's usually Rhea interacting with the men's division. If you are the women's champion, I think it's pretty cool to involve the women in more woman storylines. So that's the only thing I will say I didn't like about it, although I do love the pairing together. I love that Miz was being really cowardly when Rhea told him to shut up. He's like, "Yes, ma'am."
Yeah.
So interesting. I guess we're gonna get a Dominic and Cody match.
Man, that's gonna be awesome, I guess. But yeah, you're right.
Like it.
If you're gonna be the SmackDown Women's Champion on Monday Night Raw, then you're gonna have to do some more stuff on the women's division because yeah, I don't really know what Rhea's doing right now. She's as a character, as a part of Judgment Day, she's amazing. But if this is something that she doesn't need a title for, and if she is gonna have a title, she should do something with that title. Because in Night of Champions, we had a Natalia match which had almost zero substance. I don't even know why that match. It was against Natalia.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the perfect booking though for that match because it's like you really don't want that match to go any longer. Trust me, no one wants to see a Natalia Rhea Ripley match for like
why'd
8
that
minutes.
match happen? I feel like, in my opinion, as star power as Rhea Ripley has, the SmackDown / Raw Women's Championship is kind of getting undervalued because even with the Zelina Vega match, like as cool as that was, it's only like a 4-minute match, and Zelina got a good ovation, but it did more for Zelina than it did for the title and Rhea, in my opinion, at Backlash.
I think the first couple of matches do have to be against weak opponents because, like, the champion's gonna retain, right? So I think like Natalia, Zelina Vega, knock them out right now because I would be really like shocked or maybe upset if they pushed Rhea versus Becky right now rather than down the line like near SummerSlam.
I mean, yeah, but what's going on now? And I guess we
That's
do
the thing.
have
Yeah.
2-3 more weeks to find out what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. But as far as I know, looks like nothing's happening at Money in the Bank. And what can you build up in 2 or 3 weeks, which at least, I'm not saying find a credible opponent, but at least have an opponent to build up a good story for to make this title prestigious, which is, well, anyways, we're going off track, I think.
Oh no,
Is it?
I think I think we're still like we're talking about Rhea Ripley and she's involved in the segment, and it's our criticism because maybe she shouldn't have been out there. Maybe she could have been doing something more with the women's division, and this makes me think more that the women's Money in the Bank to be cashed in on Rhea and not Asuka.
Mm,
And I think like
yeah.
always they're gonna do it almost immediately, like a week or two
I
into it
hope they
having
don't
it.
do it almost immediately because as much as we are criticizing Rhea, I do want Rhea to have a good reign with this because
Same,
Rhea
yeah.
is amazing. My favorite woman in wrestling so far, or right now at least. Um, but this segment itself, I really enjoyed. Again, nuclear heat from Dominic Mysterio. It's so good. It's
Yep.
so good. Dominic doesn't even need to be on the mic. But honestly, as much as you hate Dominic, or people out there, as much as you hate Dominic, I think that his promo skills are like it's funny how his promo skills work because he doesn't have to be amazing on the mic to be good on the mic because he just sounds like an obnoxious brat. The way he has his voice set up, it's just the way he speaks, his tone makes his promo skills so good because it's such a hateable voice. And I love how Cody Rhodes was like, I feel bad for you, Dominic, in your 15 minutes of being in prison. And I'm not a perfect father. Your dad Ray is not a perfect father. He makes mistakes. I should know because I'm looking right at one. Get owned, Dominic. And then Cody got bitch slapped by Dominic. But besides that, um, yeah. I think one day a man needs to just this is gonna sound so mean and like probably insensitive, but some man needs to kick Reed in the face
It needs to be
because
Randy. It
he
needs to be
has to be
Randy.
Randy's. Oh my god,
It
yeah,
needs to be Randy, and he needs to have a full length match with her because he'll do it.
he'll do it.
He can get
Like,
away with it.
you
He's like
don't
the only
even
one who could do it.
you don't even have to like say anything to him. He'll actually offer to do it himself. Um, Punt kick and everything.
Maybe we'll get Judgment Day versus RK Bro in the future, and that's when it'll happen. Who knows?
Maybe next
But
WrestleMania we'll get Randy Orton and Matt Riddle.
but what would you rate the segment?
9 out of 10. I really thought this was an amazing segment. Simply because you know this was probably my opinion the best segment of the night. Um, just for the sheer nuclear heat that Dominic gets every time Dominic's on screen. I love to hate him. Everyone loves to hate him. And Cody, great mic work from Cody again. I love how he's kind of being very nonchalant throughout the whole thing. Very entertaining segment overall. 9 out of 10. And how would you rank or rate this?
So the Cody Dominic Miz TV segment, I'm gonna give it a 7. Uh, I wish I I will say specifically because the fact when Miz TV started, I didn't know why Cody was out there and what he was gonna originally say. So I didn't know what Cody had intended to say, had planned, what was the promo. But the promo itself, Dominic and Cody, and let's not forget that Dominic did bitch slap Cody. Um, yeah, so it was good. It was really entertaining. I liked it, but to me, like the eights, the nines, the tens, the 8 is like loving it. The 9 is like, wow, this is really really great, and the 10 is like, this is perfect. So 7 for me is like really good. Yeah, that's all it was to me.
Next, we have another Money in the Bank qualifying match, which was Natalia versus, or your girl, Natalia, versus Zoe Stark. With
Natalia, I
Natalia,
hate you so much.
with Zoe Stark defeating Natalia, I want to say that I think that this partnership with Zoe Stark and Trish Stratus can lead to great wonders for Zoe Stark's career, or at least kind of push her into the good direction. Because the way I'm seeing this going, this is just me thinking it. I think it's going to be at SummerSlam, Lita and Becky v Zoe and Trish, which in my opinion sounds like the plan. But I don't know personally. But what do you think about the match? And do you think Zoe Stark was the correct decision for winning this
Def-
match?
Definitely Zoe Stark was the correct decision to win this match, and we do not need Natalia in any more Money in the Bank matches. We need actual prospects who could possibly win. Uh, the one thing, man, the this Zoe Stark has a killer finisher, but so far since she's debuted on the main roster, nobody has been able to sell it properly,
Mhm.
especially Natalia. This was a terrible sell on the finisher. Um, the match itself, decent. It was all
Yeah,
right. It was honestly a match I would probably get up and like go to the bathroom or go to the kitchen during. So, for that reason, I'm gonna give it a 4.
really. For me, I would say a 4 is like bad, which is why I'm giving it a 6. I put 6 as decent. 'Cause I think it's decent, but that's all it's gonna be. Um,
Um, yeah.
but
But then it's like, why are we doing it out of 10 then? You know what I mean? Because it's like 1 to 4 is never gonna get used.
hey, man, I mean, a lot of shit can be shit. Hey, but what's next here? We have oh, is it Hurt Business v Indus Sure?
Oh my
Um,
god.
Indus Sure
Maybe we'll
destroyed.
bust out 1 through 4 here.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? I might have to go with the I don't know, 4, I guess. Maybe like a
Yeah.
3.5 because I mean, I feel like it's just basic. I don't think Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin should be used as jobbers. I feel like they should definitely be a serious, or maybe not a serious contender, but at least a contender for the tag team gold. Especially Shelton Benjamin. I know he's getting up there in age, but I feel like I don't know his whole WWE run ever since coming back in 2017 has just been disgraceful for his
Yeah, man.
career. And Indus Sure maybe should just win against local competitors. um,
Mm. I'm
but
tired of local competitor though. I like this. I'm gonna give this a 5. Mainly
I
because
like this.
they they attacked Hurt Business before the bell, so they're going
Heck
mad
yeah.
aggressive. My boy, um, Sanga, yeah, Sanga, he's dope. Um, I will say though, like this is why we got a podcast, right? Because we can disagree on stuff, and I do think Sheldon Benjamin should not be considered as a talent, as a winner. He's just a jobber. Like everyone needs to play their roles, and Sheldon Benjamin to me is a jobber. This dude has no charisma, no character. He's been given the most chances out of everyone in the world to do something, and he's never done anything. Cedric Alexander, on the other hand, I wish there was like a cruiserweight division show. I wish they brought back 205 Live because that's a show he
Ooh,
belongs on. Like
yeah.
and like a good 205 Live.
Okay.
Because he's not going to thrive on the main roster at all. I don't think ever. So
It's,
5.
it's hard for cruiserweights, even cruiserweights like Johnny Gargano, to thrive in the main roster, which is kind of sad. But anyways, we have our main event. The thing we've been waiting for, and no, it's not Omos. It's Seth Rollins and Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. What do you think about this match?
Great match. Really good match. Damian Priest is finally getting his just due. I like that. I like the guy. Um, Seth Rollins, of course, going like we mentioned at the beginning, going on that tear of always defending the belts. I'm really liking this. I love the World Heavyweight Championship and what they're doing with it. Like trying to make it the exact opposite of what the Universal title is at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like the match. I'm gonna go ahead and just give it 7.5. That was really good.
I'm actually gonna have to give it an 8.5. Um, because I think the match itself is really good too, which is what I would give it 8. But I would have to put it as the point 5 has to be also the story behind it, with again the falling of the cracks in the Judgment Day when it comes to. Remember when we said at the beginning of the show, Damian Priest was like, "Yo, dog, Finn, I don't need you there," and then Finn comes out anyways, kind of distracts Damian a little bit and kind of causes him indirectly to lose. So and this is probably setting up for Rollins versus Balor at Money in the Bank, which is could be a stellar match. But yeah, I'm gonna say 8.5. I think it's a pretty well done match with a pretty interesting, possibly long term storytelling going on soon.
Nice, nice. I really hope Damian Priest continues to do big things, and I can't wait to see the rest of the future title defenses for Seth. But that's Monday nights right there.
How do you rate Monday Night Raw as a show in total this week?
As as a show, decent show, not my favorite. Straight up just a 7.
Yeah, I agree. 7. Um, Good show. Next we have
NXT, NXT.
NXT. I'm gonna be
Woo!
honest with you guys. I didn't get the chance to watch all of NXT, but I did see some minor moments. So, maybe we could talk about those moments. Yeah. Um, I do know about Baron Corbin came over, didn't he, from the main roster?
Kicked off the show.
Constable Corbin, Happy Corbin, Corbin, bum ass Corbin, everyone's favorite lone wolf who I don't know. That's not his persona. I don't know what his gimmick is. Loser? Is that his gimmick?
Um,
He used to be
Bald
modern day
chef.
wrestling guy. Chef, yeah.
Yeah.
Chef Baron Corbin. But I really do like I thought it was a decent promo. That he cut with Ilyaj Dragunov. I don't never know how to pronounce his first name.
Ilya.
Ilya Dragunov, who in his own right, amazing wrestler. On the mic, he's okay. um, Baron Corbin, okay in both aspects, but I did like him kind of flexing off his achievements, which kind of actually made me think, actually, Baron, you might be a credible contender. When he was like, listen, bro, let's not forget who I am. Had WrestleMania matches. I retired Kurt Angle. He did. He was the last person to pin Roman Reigns. Kind of dropped the mic on Ilyaj there and kind of had a little, tension there, saying that NXT is kind of a weak bitch brand now. What do you think about it?
Ooh. Really interesting to see Baron Corbin on NXT because he's obviously not doing something on the main roster, so might as well, right? Um, I thought they should have reversed it though. I thought they should have had Ali feud with Carmelo Hayes and
Mm,
Corbin with Wesley. Although I don't mind how it is right now, I just thought it'd be more interesting that way. Uh, Ilya, he's cool. Him and Braun Breaker are gonna do some real cool things pretty soon.
yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see. The promo itself is okay. It's good. Nothing. I'm not gonna like I said for one of the promos on Raw. I'm not gonna remember it like in a couple weeks. So just
I'll probably
good enough. 6.5.
7. I'll probably say 7. I thought it was good. But the other moment that remember seeing is Braun Breaker challenging the current WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Braun Breaker, man, very electric guy when it comes to being on the mic, being on the ring. Facer, I really enjoy his heel run. He kind of scares me actually. Um, but people say he has that old school feel about him, which I like, that Goldberg feel, except he can actually wrestle. That Scott
He has a
Steiner, of
better
course,
spear.
a better spear. But yeah, if that I don't know if that match is official, but if that match does happen, I feel like that would be a great match. And you know, maybe Braun Breaker wins. Probably not, but
Probably not. Be interesting to see the main
you
roster
know,
world title be change hands on NXT.
that would
Yeah,
be
but
very crazy.
calls out Seth Rollins right after he attacks Ilya in the parking lot. By the way,
Yeah.
takes out that boy. So I think that feud's gonna be really fun.
Hmm.
Uh, dude, Ilya is perfect for NXT. He embodies what NXT is supposed to be. So I hope he stays there and has a good time. But after this, there was a great. Let's not use the word great so loosely. There's a good mixed tag match on NXT.
Good.
Yeah, there's a good match with Schism, Ava Rain, and those two dudes versus
Two dudes. Yeah.
the dyads
Yeah.
versus Diamond Mine. You know, um, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile. Bro, I love Diamond Mine. I love Diamond Mine. But this match was okay. Like again, nothing special. But I think we'll see. I like to see Ava Rain in the ring now. You know, The Rock's daughter. She's doing more stuff.
Hell yeah.
She's so it's cool. It's interesting to see. I'm gonna give it a 6.5 as well.
And again, this is something I can't really comment on. I was slacking on Tuesday. Don't know what I was doing
So
on Tuesday.
okay, Tuesday nights are busy,
Tuesday nights are
but
busy.
after that, it was my favorite segment. It's Stacks meeting D'Angelo
Oh
in jail,
yeah, I remember seeing that actually. That's funny.
bro. This is my favorite storyline in NXT currently is Tony D'Angelo's crime family. Um,
Yes.
this this was hilarious. I loved it. I think in the end it will be Stax who betrayed Tony D'Angelo, which will probably get a match after he gets out of jail. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Really liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 8. I really enjoyed it too. It's pretty funny. They should make a whole Tony D'Angelo needs a tag team with his prison cellmate Dominic Mysterio. That's what WWE needs to succeed to really dethrone Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That's what we need. They should have dethroned Usos, Dominic and D'Angelo. Let's be honest here. Hot
Mm, mm,
takes.
mm. Well, I don't know if you were able to catch the next match, but it was Blair Davenport versus Danny Palmer. Um, mid definition of mid match, but I guess Blair Davenport's cool over from NXT UK, so I'm gonna give it a 4.5. Decent.
Mm.
Mm. You want me, I'm just gonna keep running down. Just let me know if you
Yeah,
watched it.
yeah. No, you good, man.
Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams. Dang, this match remind me how good Baron Corbin is. I love Baron Corbin's move set out of everything. Like the move set is so solid. Trick Williams too. Like we barely get to see him wrestle, so I'm glad. By the way, Trick Williams will be making his appearance at Summer of Champions Reality of Wrestling in Humble, Texas
Oh shit.
on July 15th. You know, I already got my tickets. I'm gonna be there.
Think
If
you
you
see
guys,
guys.
listeners, are in Houston, Texas, or area, make sure to come to Reality Wrestling July 15th. Of course.
Yes.
Did you get to watch this match?
I didn't get to. I don't think I got to watch this match. I did see. I believe I saw Baron attack Carmelo though, which could again leading up to this possible NXT Championship match between Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin, which could be a pretty cool match. I feel like everyone, including me, including you, probably wants the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin back. Um, and really, he could have really came back with maybe the promo he gave out to Ilyaj. I'm so bad with pronouncing his name.
Hey man, Ilya.
D-
At least
Ilya.
something more serious, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know, just
because
something more legit.
and we'll talk about later in SmackDown. But again, I feel like his whole gimmick is just jokey, and with his stuff in SmackDown, I feel like me personally, and I'll get more into it once we get there, but I don't think he's a credible contender for the NXT Championship, really, in the path that he's going on the main roster.
Mm. I think the reason they send like the mid card guys down to NXT is to show like the main roster is legit. There's levels to this, and NXT is not on the level of the main roster. But then when the world champions, like when they did Carmelo Hayes versus Ricochet for the NXT North American Championship, it shows that the champions at NXT, they're on the cusp. They're really good. They're almost there. So yeah, the match itself, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much NXT Tuesdays. The whole show is a rating. Jake, based off what you watched, how would you rate it?
Based on what I watched, I'd probably give it like a maybe like a 6. I think it was okay. I think it was fair, decent. From the segments, and mostly what I just watched was just Baron Corbin and of
Mhm.
course the Tony D'Angelo stacks. The that segment. Hey, I'm walking here. Whatever.
Exactly.
Is that racist? I don't
No, I think you're good. We'll see if we get canceled. But I was also going to give it a 6 until Stacks and D'Angelo brought it up to a
10.
6.5. Just a point 0.5, 6.5. Yeah,
Now,
but that's enough WWE.
you
Can
know
we
what
move
day
on?
it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite, starting off with freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy against Isaiah, or not Isaiah Scott, that's his old name,
Yeah.
Swerve Strickland for the AEW Intercontinental Championship. OMG, what a match. I really enjoyed this
Ooh.
match. The amount of like near falls there were, amount of oh my god, there's so much into this match. It was like fast-paced action, but throughout that action, it was just really, really fun and enjoyable to watch. What do you think about it?
I thought it was really good. Um, the first thing that popped in my head though was like, man, Strickland is not a very wrestling like name. I don't really see it. Isaiah Swerve Scott's a much better name than Swerve Strickland.
Swerve Strickland. I don't mind Swerve Strickland. I
I think
mean,
it's just Swerve. It'd be cooler.
Swerve. That's the
I'm
Vince
like I'm like
McMahon
Vince.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Swerve. That's vroom.
But
But
but the match itself, very solid. Again, Orange Cassidy doing his thing, showing up on a weekly basis and killing it. Um, so it was good. I liked it. AEW has obviously been on a little bit of a decline, but I think now it's starting to kind of pick up after Double or Nothing. So
um,
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it that good old 7.5.
I'm gonna have to go with a good 8. I really think it was a pretty enjoyable match, and yeah. Um, what is next? I'm trying to remember the order. Oh, is this what's next? A commercial break? But after the commercial break
Wow.
was a Blackpool Combat Club, Wheeler Yuta, John Moxley, Claudio, whatever his last name is, Castano, I don't know. I watch wrestling. Versus Chaos, Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta, and Chuck Taylor. What do you think about this match? The 6-man tag.
I really like it because I really like Rocky Romero. And
Oh
again,
yeah.
big shout out to all the Texas wrestling. Rocky Romero is doing a wrestling seminar in Houston, Texas for New Texas Pro Wrestling coming up. I don't have the date. I'll post it somewhere here. But again, if you're in the Texas wrestling scene, check this out. But the match itself, really cool. Blackpool Combat Club is my favorite faction in wrestling. So I love it. I love that Danielson has become the leader. I love that. I love Wheeler Yuta is one of my favorites in the game. I wish he got a little bit more limelight,
I wish John
Maybe
Moxley would blade more. He
honestly,
bladed enough.
I see him only blading the forehead. I want to see everything. Cheeks, both sets of
I want
cheeks.
to see his impaled penis on the mat. Let's clip that and just put that on take that out of context.
Yeah, okay.
2 years down the line, we're gonna have like Restless out of context, one of those compilations.
Oh yeah.
but anyways, yeah, this was a pretty fun match. I never really um got to really watch much Rocky Romero. Um but I was really impressed with him throughout this match, and as well, of course, best friends Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta. I'm also pretty impressive. Um, love the again Blackpool Combat Club pulling off the victory. I believe it was John Moxley tapping Rocky Romero out, if I remember. Um,
Boo. Yeah.
let me remember. Yes, I was right.
Yeah, Bulldog choke.
That Bulldog choke. Again, this is really showing. I feel like when you watch WWE, Dean Ambrose, you're seeing the more brawler side. But it's cool to see from Blackpool Combat Club, especially. There's a lot of technical. There's a technical side to John Moxley / Dean Ambrose, and it's really exciting to see because technical wrestling, although not for everyone, is a pretty fun thing to see, and a really good technical match is amazing. What do you give Blackpool Combat Club versus Chaos?
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it a 7. It's cool, it's good, but we knew what the result was gonna be.
Yeah.
It wasn't any surprise. What I do really like is Danielson on commentary for every combat match, and how he explains literally every maneuver in technical terms. He explains why they're doing it. It makes it feel legit. It was just like, oh, Wheeler Yuta, his grip is like this, so it cuts off the circulation of the left artery. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I guess he does jiu-jitsu, so that's pretty cool.
Again,
So
amazing
7.
technical
Not enough
commentary.
blood.
Not enough blood. No, actually 2 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. Really brought me into the world of Rocky Romero. It got me to see him in the ring. So which I
Go to a
really
seminar.
yeah, I should.
Yeah, $50.
$50. Yeah, man. You paying? But no, I'm
I don't
kidding.
wrestle.
Next match we have is the unstoppable team of Hook and Jungle Boy. Jungle
But
Hook. Oh,
you
was
missed
there?
two promos, one major one.
Oh my
It's
God, you're right. OMG.
MJF and Cole. But before
Yes.
that, there's a small confirmation for Forbidden Door that we're gonna see Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. What do you think about that match that's gonna happen at Forbidden Door?
I'm like Dave Meltzer's gonna cum his pants. because
Exactly.
Omega and Osprey in one match. That being said, I think I'm gonna cum my pants because Will Osprey and Kenny Omega in one match. That's gonna be awesome. Um, I feel
I
like
feel like I'm the world's biggest Will Ospreay hater because I'd be commenting like on
really.
every video where they're like, "Oh, Will Ospreay's the greatest," because people legit call him the best wrestler in the world. That shit pissing me off.
I don't think
He's
he's the
not the
best
best
wrestler
wrestler
in
in
the
the world.
world. No, maybe in ring wise, just looking in ring, you could see
Yeah,
him.
if we're just talking in ring, he's not top 5 right now.
Really.
Yeah, number 1 still clearly in my mind, it's Bryan Danielson
Mm,
because this man tells a story when he's in the ring, and he matches it with the technical skill, and he can do the high flying, and he's a legit grappler. Will Osprey, look, I love seeing the backflips every now and then, but man, it's I'm watching a circus. I'm not watching wrestling. I'm watching acrobats at work. Very impressive. Takes skill, none the doubt. But best wrestler in the world? You gotta be kidding me.
yeah, sorry, behind the scenes mishaps. But anyways, yeah. I don't disagree with you. Um, with you saying Bryan Danielson's best wrestler in the world. Of course, I can completely agree with that. He has his own award based on him for best technical wrestling. And again, what definitely tells a story. You can see that again. My favorite match of all time, which I think we mentioned last episode, episode 20, um, is MJF versus Bryan Danielson because MJF did a good job, but I'd say Bryan Danielson especially did a great job when it comes to carrying a story within the ring. But Will Ospreay v Kenny Omega at Forbidden Door. It's gonna be one hell of a match. Um, I don't hate Will Ospreay as much as this guy does, or I don't know where I'm supposed to point, but the hottie. But yeah, um, yeah. Are we rating this segment too?
It's not really a segment. It's just like a promo that appeared on the screen. I'm not even gonna rate it.
Okay,
I'm a rate Will Osprey 2 out of 10.
I rate you an 8 out of 10. Will, I hope you watch us.
All right, but the next segment, now that's something to rate. We have Adam Cole and MJF in the ring together.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I think that MJF again. If he's not, he's either my favorite or second favorite in on the mic right now. Great character work, great on the mic. No matter who he steps into the ring with, he can verbally destroy you, or he can put on a good competition with you. Whether it's CM Punk, whether it's Darby Allin, Jungle Boy, in this case Adam Cole. Um, I like how he used Adam Cole's one of his older promos in NXT and used it against him. You know what they do to make MJF look cool? Ring the freaking bell. I kind of forgot Adam Cole said that. I was like, why does this sound so
Yeah,
familiar?
it's the Karrion Cross promo, the infamous
Yeah.
Karrion Cross promo. Although I don't
Uh,
think that's true. I don't think that's what makes MJF cool. I think what makes MJF cool is that stick in his hand. So
yeah,
if he
I
had no
mean,
mic, I don't think he'd be as cool as we think.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's he's good in the ring, but I think the mic really makes him cool compared to his in ring skills. But the Adam Cole MJF promo, OMG, made me. I'm really excited to see this feud continue forward. I'm really excited for this match. I think it's gonna be one hell of a match. Um, and I don't know. I will say though, as much as I did love this promo, I wasn't the biggest fan of Adam Cole's um I don't know, promoing in this segment, I guess.
I liked it.
I,
I
di-
thought it was good babyface work.
I guess like I didn't hate it. Um I feel like there are some moments where I was just like, it's a little cheesy. Just sounds a little unnatural, you know. But that's but overall it's not terrible at all. I love, of course, you gotta love it when he riles up MJF playing mind games. And MJF was like, "You son of a bitch, you wanna fight? We're gonna fight." I don't know when that match is gonna happen, but you know, I don't know. What's the next pay per view?
Forbidden Door. But
Forbidden
like
Door.
MJF
Yeah,
always says he's not gonna wrestle on Forbidden Door. But I
yeah,
hope he does. I hope they bring
yeah,
over
maybe.
someone to wrestle him. Why not?
Um,
We're getting what, Danielson Okada. So
yeah, Danielson Okada, which, ooh, that's I'm excited. Um, but Adam Cole and MJF again. This was, in my opinion, the best segment of the week. Um, Definitely really hyped me up for this upcoming feud, which I think is going to be golden. Um, do you see Adam Cole taking the title off MJF though?
most likely no. I don't think he's the guy to do it. But if he did, I could understand why.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't been like the biggest Adam Cole supporter in the past, but I think his match with Hangman Page really turned it around for me. Their Texas Death match they had. Um, so the promo itself, the segment itself, MJF, Adam Cole. This is gonna get my first 9 of the review. It's gonna be a flat 9.
Mm. I'm gonna have to say 9 as well. I loved MJF and Keith Lee's manager going at it. It was it was great. Not for all the insults MJF was popping up was great. Mentioning Vince McMahon, and he's like, I'm a big fan of Vince McMahon, and he saw something what everyone else sees in you. Keith Lee's manager, or something along those lines. But yeah, amazing. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. Fantastic. So next, well, I think next we had
Jungle Hook.
Jungle Hook, yes.
Jungle Hook.
Just like how I mentioned earlier, the most charismatic tag team since Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Hook.
Man, man, man.
That
This
being
dude, Jungle Boy.
that
Go
being
ahead.
said, Hook and Jungle Boy versus Preston Vance and Jalistico in a Texas Tornado match. I really enjoyed this. I really like the spots they had in it. Really enjoyed the blood and gore. Gotta love it. Can't have an AEW match without some blading, but that's not a bad thing all the time. I really enjoyed. I really just thought it was a fun match. Very entertaining. Intense, brutal match. And what do you think about it?
That was pretty good. Um, Obviously not a huge fan of Jungle Boy, but I do like Hook. Uh, I like his in ring work, and I think the more matches he gets, I like how they built him slowly, just having matches on Dark, Rampage, finally moving him to Dynamite, getting some bigger and bigger matches. It's only a matter of time till Hook challenges for that TNT title. Um, Although I do hope this is not a permanent tag team. Jungle Hook is not the tag team for me. If you're gonna put Jungle Boy with someone, do it with someone who could talk.
Yeah, man, you got to do it with someone like I can't think of anyone right now, but
Jungle Christian Cage, but uh,
Christian Cage. Yeah. Maybe like I don't know. You could do Darby Allen. That would be pretty. Two pillars that make that a team. Woohoo! But anyways, next we had an announcement from my Lord and Savior Tony Khan announcing
announcements every week.
the there's never not an announcement. Yeah, stay tuned. There's always going to be an announcement when Tony Khan's in the room. But Tony Khan announces the first AEW Collision main event. Speaking of which, let's just love the AEW Collision logo. It's
So good.
just the Monday Nitro logo, except it
It looks so
says,
clean.
man. I mean, I guess it's like the equivalent of WWE making titles. But anyways, the AEW Collision main event is gonna be, count it with me, Switchblade Jay White. It's gonna be Samoa Joe, Juice Robinson versus FTR, and this little known man, the best in the world, Brian Danielson. No, it's CM Punk. Oh my god,
Oh,
coming back.
oh man, I'm actually, I was really confused at first. Like, why would Tony Khan announce that CM Punk is coming back and not just have it happen? But now I kind of understand because I feel pretty hyped for Collision, the first night of Collision. I'm really excited for this match, especially.
Yeah.
I love FTR. I love Black Bullet Club Gold. Samoa Joe, obviously love him. I think this match is gonna be awesome. I think CM Punk having a match immediately the day of his return is huge. The announcement itself, I'm gonna also give it a 9.
I think that this ROH it's bringing back so many ROH vibes, New Japan vibes. Definitely love it. I will say though, how come Tony Khan has to look so creepy? You know,
Does not blink, just like and CM Punk.
that was a great impression. Actually, that was really good.
Thanks.
No, I mean seriously, he's like I was trying to enjoy the announcement, but he was kind of creeping me out, man. I couldn't. But I mean, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'm really excited for this. Yeah, really great.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, you gotta work on giving announcements, man.
Just stop doing them so often.
yeah, yeah.
Every week, I have a major announcement. When he
have
said he had a
major.
exactly
Like,
when he said he had a major announcement, and they did AEW All Access, that was the most disappointing thing I've ever seen.
he's like Indian Mark Zuckerberg in the way he speaks. Just very, very scary. But anyways, speaking of scary, you have now I'm gonna pronounce this incorrectly, but you know, Konosuke Takeshita. Takeshita, defeating everyone's favorite AEW superstar who we all know worldwide, Damon Ace.
Don't be hating on Damon Ace. No, yeah.
Plus a Don Callis promo. Now,
yay.
now I don't really know much about Takeshita. Okay, sorry.
You got it.
I don't really know much about him. I'm not really a big New Japan avid watcher. I'm just a casual. No, I'm kidding. But I really enjoy this nuclear heat he's getting. He was a big baby face. And I believe Don Callis betrayed Kenny Omega. Was that last week or the
Like
week before?
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
It was like the week before Double or Nothing.
I really found that enjoyable. The match itself, it was just the squash match, pretty much. But what really drives this whole segment / match for me was the nuclear heat. Was the fact they had Don Callis's betrayal just on the Titantron while the match was playing. Was the fact that Don Callis was like, "Hey, you want to listen to this?" It was just the heel work that really brought up this whole entire segment. It wasn't the match itself. But that heel work was just tremendous, and man, loved it. Loved the nuclear heat.
I guess we're rating the match and the promo together, kind of combining them, which makes sense. Takeshita, I'm a huge fan. If you watched the last video, you saw I put him on my top 10 matches of 2023 list. The match he had with MJF on Dynamite, or was either that or his match with Danielson, but either or. Takeshita, awesome dude. Him and Don Callis as a pairing was super interesting. Not something I thought I'd see. Don Callis himself, carny piece of shit, as Christian Cage once said, but man, is he a great heel. So together, match plus promo, straight up 7.
Yeah, I agree. 7. Match itself, not really nothing spectacular, but just promo and segment wise, it was pretty good. Pretty good. Next we have a commercial break. But then after the commercial break, we have Christian Cage addressing what happened at Double or Nothing. I actually didn't get to see this, but
Oh, I got you.
what do you think about it?
I loved it, man. He basically killed Arn Anderson's son, Brock Anderson.
Oh man,
Yeah, him and Luchasaurus, Christian Cage on the mic. Honestly, maybe top 3 in AEW right now. Top 3 heels. So he had Luchasaurus beat up Brock Anderson in the locker room. So we're gonna see an Arn Anderson / Wardlow feud continue with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus. I'm here for it. I'm totally here to see Christian Cage in the title picture. I think this could really make Wardlow even more credible than ever. So backstage segments an 8.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say here, but I will say that Christian Cage, amazing, amazing heel work that I've seen ever since he turned heel. He was just on a roll, dude. He's a straight up menace, man. I want to see him versus Durag Vince. That's the dream match, Menace v Menace. But I will say, I hope one day. I doubt it's gonna happen, but before Edge retires, Christian comes back, or they just team up somehow. I don't know how, but I doubt it. But it's always good to dream. But after that, we have a TBS Championship Open Challenge with TBS champion Jade Cargill. Oh wait, she's not TBS champion. Chris Statlander is against Anna Jay in this match today or Wednesday.
Yeah, this match was good. This match was good. Really surprising for them to take off the title off of Cargill like right at the pay-per-view like that. But good decision. Interesting. I wonder what the legacy of the TBS title is going to be now. Like, I wonder how the matches will proceed and stuff like that. Because obviously, people, I would say most people were not a fan of the Jade Cargill reign,
Yeah.
as it was mostly pretty stale. And she won a bunch of matches she should have lost. Athena, Taya Valkyrie, people like that. So this match though with Anna Jay, pretty good. I like Anna Jay. I like Chris Statlander. Uh, but just leaves me more curious as to what's in store for the future. So 6.
I'm gonna say a 6.5. I found it as a fair match. It's cool to see our boy Daddy Magic just interrupting the match. I don't know. I just love his face. He has a funny face. But yeah, 6.5. Something that isn't necessarily too, I guess, spectacular. But I do want to see what's up with Chris Statlander in the future, and hopefully she can actually make the TBS Championship fun to watch. So then we have backstage. Tony Storm talks about a match that's happening Friday, which we'll get to, a number one contendership match, which would involve, I have it written down, I promise, Sky Blue, Nyla Rose, Britt Baker, and Mercedes Martinez to see who the number one contender is for the AEW Women's Championship. Yeah, I think it was just a small little backstage segment just saying, hey, I'm about to kick whoever's ass this is.
Yeah, pretty much nothing spectacular, nothing
Yeah, I don't think we even
remarkable.
got to rank it, honestly.
Yeah, move on.
But next we have, I believe this is the main event, right? Of Ricky
Ricky
Starks,
Starks.
Jay White.
Yeah,
What do you
man.
think?
I was pretty disappointed to be honest.
Yeah,
AEW is not catering to the strengths of Ricky Starks. Ricky Stark is uber charismatic, uber like he's charming. He can get on the mic, he can cut a promo, and the fans will rally behind him. But they're not giving him like time on TV on the mic. They're giving him a ton of matches and a rivalry with Bullet Club Gold that I don't really see going anywhere. Um, it seems like Jay White is just having a chill, fun time at AEW since he got signed, which is cool. He's gonna be in that Collision main event, but this match itself pretty disappointing in my opinion. Not what it could have been, not what it should have been. So straight up, just a 5.5.
yeah, I'm gonna go with 6. Disappointing, especially for the main event. I thought it was a fair match. That was decent. But again, you're right. There's Ricky Starks is someone who is incredible on the mic. You can see him on. I personally watched a lot of him, and his character when he was in Team Taz, holding FTR championship, or not the FTR championship, sorry, the FTW championship. Very. I talked about this with Izzy James. Very charismatic guy. And given the chance, he could have the charisma of someone like The Rock. Which is very possible, but he's not really given much time, and this match in general was okay. But I mean, it was a Dynamite match at least, so it wasn't like it was on a major PLE or anything. So
Definitely. Yeah, that's really Dynamite, right? So what would you give the rating for the show? I thought like it was pretty good for the most part, other than the main event.
yeah, I'm probably gonna give it an 8. I think overall, nothing really. It was a great show. I preferred it overall. Um, I think um again, the MJF Adam Cole promo kind of knocked this show into the park. like in a good way. As along with the Hook and Jungle Boy via Preston Vance Jalistico match, that was really good. The main event of AEW Collision was really good. The ups um, d- overweighed the downs. Monday Night Raw, it seemed a bit more, I don't know, more average than good nor great. But you know,
Mm.
8 out of 10 AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm pretty like similar in my opinion. 7.5. Um, good show. That's all I got to say. But next, well, what we got next? Is it Friday Night SmackDown, Friday Night Rampage? Which one you want to do?
Um, I watched SmackDown first, so let's. I guess we can go with SmackDown, and you know, we gotta talk about the opening promo, which I love to see. Paul Heyman, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa. I'm loving this whole Bloodline storyline, and it's my favorite storyline that today in professional wrestling. My favorite storyline probably within the past 5 years of professional wrestling in WWE at least. And man, yeah, it's great. The tensions are very high. It's like watching just like a Telemundo show, dude, or a show on ABC. Man, it's so much drama, so much hype, and I like Jey Uso coming out being like, "Hey, Oos, you tech our older brother. I'll never forgive you for that, Oos." And that was a good Jey Uso impression. Thank you, thank you. But that was again dramas up high. We learned that Jey Uso is getting a United States Championship match against Austin Theory in the main event. Main event Jey Uso. Paul Heyman trying to play mind games with Jey Uso, trying to say that, hey, yo, Jey, you're going to be the next tribal chief. That's why Jimmy's so mad that, that's why Jimmy's jealous of whatever. He's going to betray you or something. And overall, I really enjoyed this promo segment. With Jey Uso leaving the ring in a cliffhanger, accepting the United States Championship challenge, but kind of declining or not answering the Bloodline offer. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Amazing promo. What do you think about it?
Dude, every time I think that, oh, they really can't do anything more with the Bloodline story, they do more. They add new layers. And what I did not expect is this Roman Reigns passing off the title of Tribal Chief to Jey Uso thing that Paul Heyman came up with. That was interesting. That adds a new element to the story. The U.S. title opportunity was really great because I love to see Jey Uso in singles action. So I really enjoyed this segment. It's adding so many layers to the Bloodline story, which who would have thought this story would have stayed relevant for this long?
Yeah,
Um, for that reason, I'm gonna give it straight up that 8.5.
I'm gonna give it a
Loved it.
9. Really enjoyed it. Um, I really, um, I really do believe the fact that Cody won at WrestleMania, or sorry, Roman won at WrestleMania against Cody. That was a good decision on WWE's part for this because of this long-term storytelling. Because now the Usos are falling apart, and then Solo might fall apart, or Paul Heyman. The whole bloodline is going to collapse till Roman loses. So this is amazing long-term storytelling, and I feel like we haven't seen good long-term storytelling in WWE like this in so long. So props to everyone involved in this. And honestly, Jey Uso, again, very, very good on the mic, man. You can tell his emotion. Why is he always stuck in the middle of everything, dude? Poor Jey. He's like psychologically traumatized, man.
Exactly.
But next, I really enjoyed this next match. Um, we have Santos Escobar versus Mustafa Ali in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. What do you think about
Really
this?
good. Really good. Really good. Santos Escobar has been presented super well on SmackDown. I think the fans are really getting behind him too, and especially when you have a guy like Rey Mysterio with him next to him. I think that just propels his star power out there. And Mustafa Ali never fails to impress every time he's in that ring. Character work on Ali is not the strong suit, so let the wrestling do the talking.
He has that gimmick of
I
a
think
little kid.
I think they made the right choice with Santos winning and going to Money in the Bank. Um, I really like the match. That being said, straight up 8.5 for me.
Yeah, I agree. 8.5. Great spots, great high flying cruiserweight action, which again I really enjoy. Um, and Santos winning this match, going to Money in the Bank is a great move. I feel like he's one of the few NXT call ups that are truly getting their time to shine. Santos is doing great things on the main roster, in the mid card. So let's see what is next. We have, here we have. Oh, by the way, on Mustafa Ali and Santos Escobar, I love that L.A. Knight, L.A. Knight, yeah, commentary. Gotta love it. But anywho, next we have another backstage segment with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, which I actually really, really loved. Um, it was such a wholesome moment to kind of see Sami Zayn trying to be that, angel on Jey Uso's shoulder, while Paul Heyman's that devil. Um, and Sami Zayn's pretty much saying, "Hey, man, Roman Reigns might not even be the bad guy. Paul Heyman is feeding all these things into Roman Reigns' ears." Which definitely could be the thing. Um, got got everyone thinking, got Jey Uso thinking, and really further progresses the story. I really did enjoy actually this moment. Great backstage segment. What did you think about it?
I also thought it was really great. Thinking further is again adding layers to the Bloodline story. And I think that's what WWE Creative is doing a really great job of right now is like, how do we keep this fresh? How do we add new elements to it? And Sami Zayn giving his input to Jay. It seemed like Jay was listening, right? It seemed like Jay was intrigued. And it seemed like to affect what Jay would say to Paul Heyman in his next segment that we'll get to. So
Yeah.
I liked it.
I think it's 8.5.
I'll agree with you on that 8.5.
Very very good. And I don't know why Sammy was playing a heel for so long. He is such an amazing face. Um, No, I didn't necessarily hate his heel. Well, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't a big fan of him as a heel until like 2022, once he became the honorary Ooze. Once he started having that feud with Johnny Knoxville, that was great.
I like the stuff in 2020, the conspiracy theory stuff with the AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy. I liked it.
Actually, that was funny. Actually, but anyways, next we have. Oh boy, do I have some stuff for this next segment. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler with Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, their little promo.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. What a great promo. No, I'm kidding. Um, I really didn't really like this. I didn't like this promo exchange really. Um, and I think we talked about this last time. I find it so hilarious that Indy Hartwell has to drop her NXT championship, but not Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Now I think now this promo was leading up to, I guess, Baszler and Rousey being like, "Hey, you guys aren't the best women's tag team champions around this bitch. We are." So then that kind of resulted in a unification match. Which is that happening next week or
It is.
yeah, next week? Yeah, what'd you think about this whole promo, whole
Yeah.
segment?
I did not love it, but I didn't hate it at all, actually, because I think they're making the right decision to unify these titles because obviously there's not enough women's tag teams to have these titles around. And at least now we figured out why they never dropped those titles, right? So they can do the unification. And, uh, Shayna Baszler led. I liked Shayna Baszler on the mic this time. I
Oh,
actually found it
actually,
entertaining. And Isla Dawn and Alba Fire looked really strong when they got attacked, and they fended off against Ronda and Shayna. And for that reason, like it was pretty good. The only concern is why is this match on SmackDown not Money in the Bank? Why
yeah,
is the title
I don't know.
unification? You
I,
know,
I feel like it's such an important match. Even if we do
and
talk bad about the women's tag team titles, this is a unification of two titles. One of these titles isn't going to exist anymore,
they
and it's
could build it
probably
up.
going to
They could
be
do like, yeah, they could do like Isla Dawn versus Shayna Baszler next week or something like that. They can have
yeah.
it
They
build
could
or
be doing a ladder match, which would be cool. A tag team ladder match for the unification, but I guess not. But whatever. But I don't know. I do enjoy this concept of it being unified. I feel like the less women's tag team championships, the better. Again, this is nothing with them being women. It's just the fact that there's not enough women tag teams or time. You
No, tell them
know,
how you really feel. Tell them how you really feel.
yeah, but no, there's not enough. Okay, I'm not going to go on a whole. We always do this. We
I
always
know, dude.
it always ends up
Certified
circling around.
misogynist.
We yeah, we're looking very bad, but we promise it's not
Hey,
because they're women. It's because the bookers are sexist, not us.
we had that idea for like a new women's title, so like we can't be seen as
Yeah,
like. So,
we're out
but
here giving good ideas.
the segment
Um,
itself, I'm gonna give it a 7.
really, I'm gonna give it a
Yeah, I liked it.
5.5. I just feel
Boo.
like that. I don't know. I just felt every time I hear Fire and Don the mic. This is probably the first or second time I've heard Don and Fire on the mic. I kind of hate it.
Oh no, I love Alba Fire.
Alba Fire is great in the ring. Kaylee Ray, I love her. Great at NXT UK Women's Champion. But I just feel like on the mic, it just seemed annoying. It reminded me of when the Iconics were on the mic, and I hated that.
No way. Iconics on the mic was the best thing ever.
It
Iconics on the
annoyed me.
mic
It
was the
pissed me
best
off.
thing that ever happened to women's tag team wrestling.
Iconics were a great tag team, though. I'll give them that. I wish they
And
came back.
and
That's a
Amber, like,
hire. That's someone who they should have hired to really bring up the prestige of these tag team championships. But
I think both of them are pregnant now, so not gonna work out.
oh man, no man, we need a pregnant wrestling league federation. Make that happen. We're gonna make that happen, Hottie.
They should put the baby on the line.
Yes, yes. Special guest referee Dominic. But next of course we had Michael Cole giving us an amazing tribute to the Iron Sheik. Again, rest in peace, Jabroni. Great video tribute they had going on there. I don't think we have to rate that, but 10 out of 10 if we did.
Imagine rating. Boo.
Boo.
Hulk Hogan would give it
I
a 4.
didn't like it. It had to be a 4.
Yeah.
But next we had Bailey versus Michin or Mia Yim.
Yeah.
In a Money in the Bank qualifying match. What do you think about that?
So match was pretty poor in my opinion. Not a good match. I hate Bailey's finisher, the Rose Plant. I wish she started doing the Bailey to Bailey suplex again, because that Rose Plant is such a bad finisher. It's like LA Knight. LA Knight, for example. I hate the finisher, the BFT. I hate it, man.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's like shocking. Like you forget that's the finisher, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's why like when she hit it,
has that.
when she hit the Rose Plant, like no one reacted to it, and when she got the pin, everyone's like, "Yo, what?" Like
Yeah,
that was the finish.
and I'm shocked.
So
And it was a pretty short match too, which is kind of disappointing. But I will say the one good thing that came out of this though was afterwards when Karrion Kross and Scarlett attacked AJ Styles in the announce table, which set up a match for next week. It's going to be Michin and AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and I think that's going to be a pretty interesting match. I'm glad they're doing something with Karrion Kross, especially with someone as talented as AJ Styles. But I do believe that this is a good decision, and the reason why I think this is a good decision of Bailey winning is because of something we'll talk about later on in the show. Because someone else won their Money in the Bank qualifying match, and I'm interested in seeing how this goes. But I don't know. The match itself was kind of lame, kind of short, nothing special, but I believe it's a correct winner, and I'm really interested in seeing what they do with AJ Styles and Karrion Kross.
you know what? I agree. I really hope Bailey gets to do something pretty cool. Because the last thing I remember her having a great match was like Hell in the Cell 2020 with Sasha Banks. After that, I don't really remember a great match she's had. So I hope she gets to do something really cool, maybe with Bianca, now that Bianca's not tied up. Yeah. So the match itself, I'm gonna give it a 3. The AJ Styles Karrion Kross Scarlett segment, I'm gonna give it a 7 because I like it. I like Scarlett.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna mix this all together and say it's 7. Because why not? But yeah, I agree. I'm very excited to see what they do with Kross and Styles and Scarlett and Michin. But next we have something I really want to talk about. Probably one of the bigger moments and in my opinion, one of the worst moments in the show is when Charlotte Flair came back, and then the Asuka promo and the revealing of the new women's championship belt. I don't know if it's even SmackDown or Raw at this point, but yeah. What you think about this?
So what's really interesting to me is that title design. It says undisputed on it.
Does
So
it?
yeah, so I really feel like they just copy and pasted the Roman title and forgot to take it off. Um, but I'm actually I don't really understand why people are so upset about the Charlotte thing, other than like cutting Bianca for that rematch. But her coming back is a great thing. I think I wasn't feeling her as a face versus Rhea until they had the match. Until they had the match. Now that match I think gave me more support for Charlotte. And I think if you're gonna feud with Asuka for the title, you need to have someone who has strong skills, is kind of well rounded, especially on the mic, has a character at least. Um, I don't like the Asuka character. You know, I don't like it. I think it was the wrong decision to put the title on her, especially how they did it. So I don't know. The segment itself, the new title, it's actually not a bad looking title. The gold looks way better with the white strap than it does the black. Uh, so
Um,
the whole segment itself, Charlotte returning is huge. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
oh man, we have two differing views on this one. But I think that the Charlotte Flair, for Charlotte. Okay, well, first I'm gonna talk about the title belt itself. The title belts, again, you're right when when you're like it's better than with the white belt and the black belt. I feel like honestly that's usually the case. Usually I think the women's titles look better because the colors usually reflect with the white belt better than the black belt. Um, but they really are just copy and pasting everything. um, it's really kind of impressive actually. I'm shocked they didn't copy and paste the World Heavyweight Championship belt, which is, but the fact that they didn't is why that
We'll
belt
see.
looks so good. Um, but I don't really care about the women's championship belt or its new look. It's not that bad. I'm not going to criticize that too much. It has its flaws, whatever. I still don't know if she's technically considered a Raw or women or the Raw or SmackDown Women's Championship. That shit needs to be figured out. Because technically it's just called the Women's Championship belt.
Yeah, she's the
Technically,
WWE Women's Champion, which makes me think that Rhea's gonna have a different title with a different name. Like they're gonna call her like the Women's Heavyweight Champion or something like that.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that, but they need to hurry with that because I don't know what they're doing. It's very weird. But anyways, Charlotte Flair coming back. You're right. It's cool. You really need someone with the amount of ring skills of Charlotte Flair, the amount of promo skills of Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair is definitely one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. But I feel like a lot of people, me included, Bianca Belair included, I don't even know if it's in character or not, but I saw Bianca tweet about the fact that, Charlotte gets to be on, the top by just coming back, not being part of some line, um, which, again, I don't know if it's a shoot tweet or like a kayfabe tweet, but I just, I, I find it kind of disrespectful to the wrestling business seeing just someone like Charlotte Flair taking some time off. All right, here's your women's championship match, or here's your women's championship. We saw this with Ronda Rousey, and yes, it put her in a great match with Rhea Ripley. I'm not going to deny that, but for the respect of the business, I feel like it's just kind of, and it's kind of blowing off the rest of the women's division too. Um, we had a great match with Io Sky at Backlash. We had an okay match at Night Champions with Asuka, or sorry, with Bianca for that championship. And at WrestleMania, we had an okay match with Bianca.
I
But
thought it was pretty good at Mania.
but I
I think
think
it's just overshadowed.
I don't I just think that you have so much women that you can build up. You have so you have so much women who don't even appear on TV like Tegan Knox or Candice LeRae. And you just throw them all away for Charlotte Flair who comes back. And but that being said, I will say though, Charlotte Flair, amazing on the mic. I I do find it kind of cold the fact she was like, the line. There is no line because I made the line. Like, I mean, that's pretty badass to say. Um, so I'm not going to discredit anything she has done in the ring or on the mic or what she's contributed to women's wrestling, because she is, in my opinion, on the Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling. But I just don't think that this is a very fair thing to do for the SmackDown Women's Championship, or the whatever women's championship it is now.
I actually think this is a great move for the women's championship because Asuka starting off her reign she's gonna beat Charlotte in my opinion, right? And hopefully, I don't. Please don't 15-time champion. All right, if she beats Charlotte, this is gonna solidify the reign starting off on an amazing start. And like you said, they can build up other women. But then when I think about it, I actually really don't think they can, because there's not many women on SmackDown I feel that have the skill to be at that top level, other than Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka, and Bailey. That's and Io Sky. That's about it on SmackDown for me, who can be legit top contenders.
Because I mean, I just feel like most of them just don't get the time to shine. Which is, and if they do have the time to shine, it's like a 5-minute match. And I guess I don't know. That's just my main. The way I rate this whole segment, honestly, is 5.5. I didn't really like. I thought it was. I didn't really enjoy it too much. If there's a Flair and Oscar match, I will say if Oscar wins, it will propel her in the right direction. But I feel like at the same time, though, Asuka is a top star that's already been propelled, a multi-time women's champion. So I don't know, but let's move on to our next segment or match. What's our next segment? The Jey Uso Paul Heyman segment. Man, how was that?
Very good. I think, like I said earlier, like Sami Zayn's words were kind of getting to Jay that Paul is the evil one, not Roman. So he finally laid it down. He said, "If I'm gonna come back to a bloodline, you're not gonna be in it." And I think that is the really interesting part for when Roman Reigns comes back next week. Are we gonna see Jay get outed, or are we gonna see Paul get outed? I think we know how it's gonna go, but interesting dynamics.
I hope to see at Money in the Bank Jey Uso and Roman Reigns versus Jimmy and Paul Heyman. That's gonna be a good match, that Money in the Bank. But yeah, this was a pretty good segment. Again, the Sami Zayn mind games getting into Jey Uso, Sami Zayn truths going into Jey Uso, and I like how Jey Uso was smiling, like, yeah, yeah. Man, I don't know why you happy though, because if I'm in the bloodline, you're out. Oh my god, great plot twist. I give it an 8.5. I really enjoyed this one.
I'll also give it an 8.5.
Next we have Butch and Baron Corbin in a Money in the Bank qualifying match.
Squash.
Yeah, squash match. I thought the match was fair. It's whatever, but the right decision was made. I do believe this could be time for Butch or Pete Dunne's time to shine in this Money in the Bank ladder match. I will say, though, I feel like later on in the night, you also see, like, Baron Corbin getting beaten up by Cameron Grimes. Little spoiler alert. But Baron Corbin's getting attacked by everyone. After the match, I think he had a little fight with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. And I don't know, with this match with Butch kind of just squashing him, with Cameron Grimes kind of just beating him up, with him crying about it backstage to the Brawling Brutes, I really think that Baron Corbin, this is all just making Baron Corbin not a serious contender to the NXT Championship. And even if he was at NXT trying to, kind of improve his character, improve who he is, he goes back to SmackDown kind of becoming a jobber again. So,
Yeah, I think he's an enhancement talent at this point. So his job is purely to enhance others. Cameron Grimes, Butch, Carmelo Hayes, and that sucks for Baron.
This was the man who retired Kurt Angle. This was the man who pinned Roman Reigns. This was the man who main evented pay-per-views against Seth Rollins. Yeah, remember when he was a top star? 2019 was a bad year, man. But next after that, we
I
got a
think we
little.
gotta give it a rating.
Oh yeah, you're right. I give it a, I don't know, 6.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I feel like that 6 just goes to, I don't know. It was cool seeing Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown and Trick Williams, and it was also the right decision to have Pete Dunne / Bush, or Butch, not Bush, Butch.
George Bush.
Um,
George Bush makes his
George
WWE
Bush.
debut.
Yes.
Oh my
But
god.
next we have an interesting Money in the Bank qualifying match because it's Io Sky and Shotzi. How about that?
Yay! It's Io Sky. I love her. She's cool. Um, I love that. I love her entrance music. I love the entrance. I love that when she's in the ring, when she does the splits, the stretch. I love her matches. I love Io Sky. So the match itself was okay, decent. Um, Bailey was out there supporting her, and she qualifies. Now this is interesting because we have 2 members of Damage Control and Money in the Bank. What do you think about that?
So we mentioned how Becky Lynch is probably on the board favorite Money in the Bank. I think Io Sky is my favorite. I think she's gonna win. I hope she's gonna win because this is talking about building up these stars. Io Sky already had that chance at Backlash, and I feel like giving her this Money in the Bank contract, kind of making her turn against Bailey. Well, first off, result in a good story. Second off, result in a great match in SummerSlam or whenever they do it. Because I think that Io Sky, again, right choice. I love Io Sky as well. Where's Dakota Kai? She's injured, right? Yeah, she got injured.
Bad injury. She's gonna be gone for a while.
Oh man, I love Dakota Kai, but Io Sky, yeah. Fair match, okay match, and my favorite to win the Money in the Bank women's ladder match. Maybe James Ellsworth is going to return and win it again. That's gonna be cool.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah,
What'd you
what
give
do
the
you rate
match?
it? Would you ask
Okay.
me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
On three. On three. 1, 2, 3. 6.
6.
Hey, look at
Look
that.
at us.
Look at that. So next we have a little backstage segment, which I didn't really get to see. But it's Austin Theory backstage. You can see that.
Damn, this show's so long, man.
I know, man. It feels longer than Raw. And Raw is
I
3
know.
hours. Did they add an extra 3 hours to
I
SmackDown?
don't know. I think maybe we're just like we don't have the same energy as when we started, so it's just kind of dragging.
Yeah, honestly, this is our longest video ever. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fun to
Oh,
edit.
I gotta edit out some parts, so it's
That's
probably gonna
true.
come down. Maybe
But
2 hours.
yeah, we'll see. But next we have actually I like this backstage segment of the SmackDown Tag Team division interrupting anger issues Kevin Owens again, and Happy Sami Zayn. Pretty Deadly came out. The OC came out. LWO, the Brawling Brutes, Street Profits. Is there someone else? Am I missing someone else? I think that's it,
No, I
right?
don't think so. Yeah.
So
Man,
they all
where
want
are those guys? What's the name? Angel Garza, Humberto Carrillo.
not
My
for where
freaking
are they?
favorite tag team.
Where's Maximum Male Models, man? That's my favorite
I don't
tag
know,
team.
man. At least get
But
my guys Angel and Humberto on NXT or something, you know?
honestly, yeah, because Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo are definitely two talented individuals. Shit, man, remember Humberto was getting a little push back in like
Yeah, it's
2019,
weird.
2018? Now, even Triple H doesn't even want to change their, name. They're still Humberto and Angel. But anyways, yeah, I think this backstage segment was pretty funny. Pretty cool to see that next week we're gonna have a Profits, OC, LWO, Pretty Deadly, and Brawling Brutes match for the number one contendership for the
Gauntlet
undisputed
match.
tag team titles. The Gauntlet match, yeah, that's right. But I will say though, what's going on with the Imperium thing then? Because I feel like the Imperium feud feels more important, and then whatever tag team championship, is happening on SmackDown, tag team matches happening on SmackDown, that just feels secondary to me. That's what I think, in my opinion.
The way I see it is that since they're gonna be on both brands, I guess, even though they got drafted to Raw, that they're gonna have kind of like two separate feuds: a SmackDown feud and a Raw feud. That's how it seems so far.
I don't like this undisputed stuff, man. But anyways,
It's so hard to undo the work of like all these titles. Like
yeah,
it's crazy how much work they have to do for these.
how they do it back in the day.
They would literally just say, "Oh, we got rid of that title. Triple H, here's a new championship."
Yeah, you're right. uh, but anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go with 7.5 on this. I enjoyed this segment. I'm really
Yeah,
excited for the
same,
gauntlet match. Yeah.
same.
So let's see what's next. We had a Grayson Waller little thing, which
Damn,
kind of
when is this main event gonna happen, man?
I don't know, man. But Grayson Waller, Charlotte Flair's next week. Grayson Waller effect guest. Be excited. Main event. Oh my God! It's
Oh my God.
Jey Uso versus Austin Theory in a United States Championship match. A-Town down. I be popping bottles.
Woo.
But yeah, what'd you think about this match? Did you enjoy it?
A little disappointed.
Yeah.
And actually, for a reason that I'm a big fan of Jey Uso, but when I was watching the in ring action, things seemed a little stiff. Things didn't seem very cohesive. Maybe it was the chemistry with Austin Theory, but it didn't seem like a very great match to me. I'm glad, like whoever won this match, I was gonna be pretty happy. I like both guys,
He must have been
but
popping bottles, man.
probably sparkles and champagne. Um, but yeah, Jey Uso seemed a little stiff in the ring to me. The finish of the match was, I guess, the big part of it is Jimmy super kicked Jay.
Wade Barrett thought it was on purpose. It could have been. I don't know. Could have been on
I
purpose.
don't know.
Can't try. But yeah. Pretty Deadly came out. I didn't even know Pretty Deadly and Austin Theory had an alliance. I think they tagged with each other once. And
Yeah, it's because of the Brawling Brutes thing. It was like common enemies like 3 weeks ago,
yeah,
and now ever
man.
since they've been kind of doing backstage stuff.
I can't remember that stuff, man. But yeah, Pretty Deadly came out, kind of interrupted the match when the referee was down. Because why would the referee not be down? He's a weak little bitch. But you know, Pretty Deadly came out and beat up Jey Uso. Then Jimmy Uso came out and was like, "Yo, my dog," and then just beat up Pretty Deadly. And then Solo Sikoa came out and beat up Jimmy Uso. And then Jimmy Uso was going for that super kick to Solo. Solo dodged it, and Jimmy hit Jay, allowing Austin Theory to retain his championship. Now, the match itself, I would say maybe like a 6. It was decent. It was fair. But I feel like the story behind this match made it just so much better. Made this, in my opinion, up into an 8. Or even an 8.5. I really think this was just a very, again, so many twists and turns and drama in this bloodline storyline. And even though this match itself was kind of all right, the story driving it makes it just so much beauty.
Definitely, the story is what improves the overall rating, and that's why for me it's gonna go to a 6.5.
Oh man. But that was Friday Night SmackDown, and we have one more show. But how would you rate Friday Night SmackDown as a whole?
I'm gonna give it a 9. I thought it was a great show. I thought it had a lot of stuff to cover. Bloodline stuff was going crazy. Charlotte came back. We're unifying the women's tag team championships. We have a new women's championship. Um, Santos has qualified for Money in the Bank. Bailey and EO did as well. So I think it was really packed. For that reason, it's gonna be a 9.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. I thought it was a pretty good show. Everything was fair. The thing that kind of just killed it for me was the Charlotte Flair Asuka stuff. The Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn stuff. But I feel like overall, good show. But then we go over to AEW Rampage, the final show of this amazing week. And we start off with the trios match: Bandito, the Lucha Bros versus Big E, Lee Moriarty, and Ethan Page. What do you think about that match?
Yeah, Big Bill. I thought it was okay. That's pretty much it. I love the Lucha Bros, and I'm also actually a really really big fan of Bandito. I would love to see Bandito on NXT one day. Um, yeah, overall this match was pretty good. I'm just give it a 6.5.
I'm gonna give it a.
Ramp. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a 7. Um, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7. First, I think Big Bill is definitely a contender for the AEW World Title. Maybe one day. He is definitely. I feel like he's definitely has that star power about him. And he doesn't have all that alcohol in him like he like he was when he was Big Cass. You know, kicking dwarves and doing unscripted moments. But this was the match that I mentioned to you, which I thought really gave me back WCW cruiserweight vibes. Watching a lot of Lucha Bros and Bandito, I love just the high flying Lucha Bros spots. Yeah, this was a fair match, decent match, but yeah, I give it a 7. Fair match.
Nice, nice.
Next we have probably match of the night: Caleb Crush versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
Yeah, they literally like titled it like Powerhouse versus Jobber. Yeah, straight up 3. I hate what they're doing with Powerhouse Hobbs. So, that's that.
So you really still need jobbers for Powerhouse Hobbs?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how often do you need dudes? These Rampage really is the new Dark, and I guess it's gonna become the new Dark once Collision kicks in. But man, this
Remember when
sucks.
Rampage was like the big thing? CM Punk was debuting and all that.
Christian Cage was beating Kenny Omega for the Impact title in a great match.
Yeah. Now what is it? It's Powerhouse Hobbs versus Caleb Crush.
Yeah.
2 out of 10.
Hey, let's see if we can get Caleb Crush on the podcast and talk about that.
We love Caleb Crush, actually. We're big Caleb Crush fans.
Yeah, we'll be in touch, Caleb.
Next, I didn't get to see this moment, so maybe you did. But Renee
Lame.
Paquette
Oh.
was backstage with Wardlow and Arn Anderson. What do you think about that?
That dude Wardlow, he's cool. I like the pairing of him and Arn. I think Arn kind of needed someone to be with since Cody left, and I think Wardlow is like the perfect person for that. I will say though, it always bugs me to think about Wardlow squashing MJF way back when, and then MJF leaving, coming back and winning the world title. Why is Wardlow not in the world title conversation?
Honestly,
He's
dude.
obviously one of the biggest stars in AEW. So interesting. I mean, maybe after the Christian stuff.
Easy James untied this man's shoes.
He did.
Yeah, this is a champion right here, man. You do not want to fuck with this guy's shoes. But next we have the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass versus the Small Ass Penis.
Oh, Spanish Announce Project.
Yeah, the whole crowd was just chanting "small ass penis." I thought this was a very it was a very match.
I see people commenting like push Serpentico, push. I was like, why? Why would anyone want to push Serpentico?
But Serpentico, if you want to go on our podcast,
I mean, I'll tell you that too, Serpentico. Why are people trying to push you? Straight up a 5.
Yeah, same 5. I'll actually give it a 5.5. I
Dang.
always enjoy an Acclaimed rap, and I always love a small ass penis, if you know what I mean. So
We know you do.
yeah, so we gotta get that 0.5 up there. Speaking of awesome things, Mark Briscoe, Aubrey Edwards, the referee, Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and the other TNA reunion squad was there cutting promos with each other on this ramp. What do you think about that?
I like it because I always want to see Karen Jarrett get hurt. So, straight up like 8, I guess. Aubrey Edwards is like the biggest thing, like homegrown thing about AEW, I guess.
For
So,
real. God love Aubrey Edwards, man.
yeah. When are we gonna see Aubrey Edwards versus Tony Storm, AEW Women's Championship, and she has to ref the match as well?
They're having a mixed tag match, right? Is it next week? With
No, I think she said just if I see you I'm a beat your ass. I think that's what she said.
I thought they were having a mixed trios tag team action with Karen Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal versus Mark Aubrey and Papa Briscoe.
Oh, okay. I guess it's cool.
So I didn't even know Aubrey was gonna. I didn't think Aubrey knew how to wrestle actually,
Yeah.
but she might be the new Will Ospreay, which means she's the best wrestler in the world. But yeah, I give this a 7/7. I really enjoyed this. I love Mark Briscoe on the mic. Gotta love our boy Briscoe.
Them
Um,
boys.
them boys. Main event time. We're talking about the number one contendership to the AEW Women's Champion. We're talking about Mercedes Martinez. We're talking about Britt Baker. We're talking about Sky Blue. And we're talking about Nyla Rose. This was a good match.
Best match of the night, definitely, which is not saying a lot. Um, straight up 7.5. Good match. Sky Blue won, which I guess I think she's okay. Like I've seen some of her interviews before. It's not her match. I think she's just okay. I think maybe Mercedes Martinez should have won because she's doing cool things in Ring of Honor.
Oh,
But
definitely. Mercedes
but
Martinez, in my opinion, should have won as well. Sky Blue. I don't really got into Sky Blue. Never really watched her too much. Never really was interested, but I feel like it could lead up to a pretty good match against Tony Storm. We'll just have to see. When is this AEW Women's Championship match? Is it on Dynamite?
next week, I think. Yeah, next week on Dynamite.
Yeah. So
We'll
can't wait to see
discuss it in
that.
our next review.
OMG, 7.5 out of 10 is what I rate this match though.
Fantastic.
I feel like it had a fair amount of its fair amount of matches. But as AEW Rampage as a whole, aka AEW Dark 2.0, how would you rate this match or show?
I'm gonna give Rampage a 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 6. I feel like the Lucha Bros Bandito Big Bill match was fair. I really enjoyed the Mark Briscoe segment, and the main event was pretty fun segment or pretty fun match to watch. Not the greatest match in the world, but it was a good match to watch.
Man, you make me really feel like I'm a tough critic.
Hey man, I mean, I try to be optimistic. I mean, yeah, I mean, as long as you're not like, I don't know, Mr. McMahon versus Pat McAfee level, we're good.
It will be good.
Anyways, my favorite show of the night or of the week was AEW Dynamite. Yours, I believe, was Friday Night SmackDown.
It was. SmackDown was my favorite of the week, and yours is Dynamite. Both good shows.
Now we're gonna end this off with each of our personal superstar
Yes.
of the week, and probably I'll keep this in the history books to see if I don't know how many superstars get like consecutive multiple
Yeah.
superstars of the week, because this means a lot. This should mean a lot to your career. Fuck the WWE Championship. You're a superstar of the week on Restless.
Yes. So the Restless Review Week 1 Superstar of the Week. Who's your Superstar of the Week, Jake?
For me, I gotta award it to my boy Jay Uso. In my opinion, is gonna win my first ever Superstar of the Week. He would, again, not the best match for Austin Theory, but at the same time, he was featured throughout all of SmackDown, and I feel like he was just so entertaining throughout all of SmackDown. Everyone was anticipating, what is Jay Uso gonna do? And even still, now I'm still thinking about the storyline. And if you leave me thinking about your storyline, then you've done something right. And I'm really enjoying this mini push they're giving Jay Uso. They kind of gave it to him in 2020. They're kind of giving it to him now. I don't think he's gonna become the new tribal chief, but I do like this, I don't know, tension in the bloodline. And Jay Uso is kind of that catalyst of tension, directly or indirectly. You can decide. But yeah, Jay Uso is my first superstar of the week of June 5th to June 11th. What about you?
Well, I agree with you. If you still think about what that person was doing after the fact and you think about what's next, then they're qualified for Superstar of the Week. And that's why, for me, my Superstar of the Week is Adam Cole.
Oh,
Uh, I'm super excited to see what they do with Adam Cole and MJF. And I really thought he held his own against MJF. And I'm super excited to see what he does next week on Dynamite.
man. Adam Cole.
Interesting. Sorry, interesting to say that like my show is SmackDown, you picked Jey Uso, and your show is Dynamite, and I
I
picked Adam
know.
Cole.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Adam Cole definitely top 5. Him, great. But yeah, very interesting. But congrats to Jey Uso and Adam Cole. Yes, yes. Man, my throat
First
hurts.
Superstars of the Week. Me too, and I'm really tired.
It's
Let's
probably
end
the
this.
longest we ever talked. I don't even hang out with Hottie like that.
I know. Exactly.
Okay. I hang out with him time to time. Anyways, thanks for watching though. If you stayed this long, we're gonna see you next week. Weekly review number 2. I hope to get this. I hope this is released either tomorrow or the day after. Well,
Yes,
we'll
it
see.
will be.
Yes, we'll see. We'll see. Well, you'll see it eventually. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike if you don't like this. I don't know, man. And follow our socials. Anyways, thank you guys. Stay restless.
Stay restless.